go on air in a second. There it goes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I chose, oh my goodness, where's my, to do it on media, and I'm gonna have to find it because I just had it and now it's not there. Are you in Rexburg?
I don't.
Do you like it?
Yeah, we love it. Oh, I'm like echoing in my own thing. We like it. It's like it sucks to commute because we take some classes on campus.
Yeah.
But it's really not bad. It's nice. Yeah. What about you? Where are you from?
I'm in Virginia Beach.
Cool. Nice.
I was in Rexburg last semester and I really liked it, but you have to have 15 credits or something on campus in order to graduate.
No.
So I had to go for one semester, but I couldn't stay longer because I had a job here.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. To be an online student, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm considered a day student. I don't know
Yeah.
how that's still possible, but
Yeah. I did that for a while too, actually. But it's nice.
I like it. It's a little bit easier most of the time.
Really? For online?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Nice.
Just because if you're working, you can do it at night.
hmm
Okay,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be loading, but it's taking forever.
That's okay.
I keep thinking you have a meeting in like 30 minutes.
I know. No, I feel bad. I just didn't read that right. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's what she's talking about. But we're good. We're totally good. Did you do this Amazing Grace thing already?
I watched the movie. I have to write the paper now.
Yeah.
This is usually what time I get home, like 6-ish, and then I have to do homework, and watching that movie was hard.
I know. Yeah,
'Cause
2 hours. That was long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why isn't I think it might have just came up. Okay. So here it is.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure it's very good, but I'm just gonna go for it so I can get this over with. Okay, so it says think about how many children come home every day from school and are sitting in front of a screen of some kind. It could be their phones, a Kindle, a tablet, a television, a gaming system. How many children do this every single day and for how many hours? Are these screens acting as a babysitter for our children? What are our children seeing on these screens? Are we monitoring them? How is this affecting them? Sorry. What are they learning from being sat in front of a screen for so many hours? These are the things we need to seriously consider when we allow our children to have access to technology or media. Oh gosh. My computer is like so slow, it's like freezing. I can't even scroll. We know that technology is such a blessing in our lives, and understand how they have made our life so much easier. I know that for me, having a laptop is a blessing because I am able to take it anywhere and accomplish my homework and work. I am grateful for the internet because it has made doing research, there's people outside, so much easier. Some of the ways that media has helped me in my life. I invite you to think about how media has changed your life for a few minutes. Once you have done that, I want you to think of how many times you have been on media, and have experienced something that wasn't pleasant. Have you ever had a pop-up or something you didn't want to see? How about watching TV and having a commercial come on that makes you feel uncomfortable? Most everyone can say that they have had this happen to them at least once, right? How did it make you feel? I know that as adults, we have the instinct to quickly exit out of that material or turn the channel, but for our children, this is something new and it sparks their attention. If we haven't sat down and talked to, whoa, sorry, my computer is crazy.
You're fine.
Talk to our children about these things kinds of things and advise them to come talk to us right away. If this happens, then we aren't protecting our children. As parents, we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect our children and teach our children what to do when things like this happen. We can set parental controls and have certain sites blocked, but these things, oh goodness, sneak through the cracks. And more often than not, our children will experience the things that we have, and we have to make sure that they have all the correct tools on how to handle the situation. I want to share a story about a time I was a nanny of 3 children. I was a nanny of 2 boys, ages 9 and 7, and a little girl who was 4. One day they decided to have their cousin come over, and he's 11, over to hang out and play, and he brought his tablet over. They asked if they could watch the Minecraft videos, and I didn't see the problem, so I told them that they could for 30 minutes. After about 5 minutes, I decided to go and check on them, and when I came into the room, they exited out of whatever they were watching so fast that it made me suspicious. I asked them for the tablet and checked the history. You can guess what I found. They had looked up the word boobies and had been watching videos on the subject. You can imagine my surprise after having cared for these children for over a year, and this is just happening. I was shocked and didn't know what to do at that moment, so I told them I was taking the tablet and going to talk to them in a few minutes. But until then, they had to stay in their room without any technology. I'm not a mom and never had this experience, so I had to make sure that I handled it the best way that I could. I contacted my mom and their moms and let them know what happened and told them that I had taken away the tablet for the rest of the day so that I could talk to them and so that they had the opportunity to talk to them when they came home from work. Um, this gave the parents the opportunity to talk to their children about the things that they shouldn't be watching and why. I decided that because I was there, I would sit down and talk to them about why we don't watch these kinds of videos and how we should respect each other's bodies as well as our own. I explained that our bodies are private and that they don't need to be shared with anyone else. They sat and listened, and I'm not sure all of it actually got through to them, though. I'm grateful for my parents for their parents who were able to come home and discuss why these things are not okay and to talk to them about what to do if they ever saw that again and if they had it and answer any questions that they had. I am also grateful for being able to catch it early, even though I would have liked to have prevented it altogether. I know that as protectors of children and defenders of childhood, that we can make an educate and okay, goodness, that we can help to educate our children to help them to know what to do. The example I shared is just one of the things that we have. Oh my goodness, that we have to be careful of when we allow our children to access media. This goodness with the pop-ups. The influence of the media on the psychosocial development of children is profound, and so it is important that physicians discuss with parents their child's exposure and to provide age-appropriate use of all media, including television, radio, music, video games, and the internet. It is important that we understand the effects of media on our children so that we can do all we can to make sure our children are safe. We know that television viewing frequently limits children's time for vital activities such as playing, reading, talking to, or learning to talk, spending time with peers and family, storytelling, participating in regular exercise, and developing other necessary physical, mental, and social skills. We also learned that in addition to the amount of time spent in front of a television, other factors that influence the medium's effect on children include the child's developmental level, including or individual susceptibility, and whether children watch TV alone or with parents. Tonight, I urge you to look at your child's exposure on media and note how you can change it. I ask that you look at the amount of time your child spends in front of a screen and what they are watching. Take the time to set those parental controls and block the channels and websites that you know you don't want your child to gain access to. Please make sure that when you allow your child or children to get on media, that you or someone responsible is monitoring them to make sure that they are staying safe. Doing these things will help you to protect your child against seeing things like violence, things of the sexual nature, alcohol and smoking, in advertising that isn't healthy for them to see. I ask that you set a specific amount of time that your children are allowed on or to be on media so that they can remain healthy. Giving a time limit helps them to do other things during their life, like their educational studies and playing outside with their friends. Please help us to protect our children and defend their childhood. The end.
Nice. Okay, so we're supposed to do a Q&A.
I just don't know if you're going to have any questions about that.
Yeah, that was really good. Let's
thanks.
see. So what's the upside to the contrary perspective being presented? Okay, so do you think that there are like appropriate ways that we can encourage our kids to use the media? I don't know, the upside of
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of educational like TV shows and stuff, and
Okay.
like on their tablets you can always download like an educational game. I know I've done that a lot with the kids that I watched
Yeah.
or used to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's just making sure that they're not watching anything that's just so mindless, you know? You want them thinking about something.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. Like this usually is supposed to be with more than one person, so it's like ask one question and then it gives you like 3 like samples.
Okay.
So I don't know. But okay, I will read mine. Oh, I guess I do have another question. Is there a law that goes along with yours at all?
I think I found one. I think I wrote it at the end.
Okay.
Crap. I need to find it. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And I exited out, so now I have to like find it.
Oh no, it's fine. If not, it's no worries.
If you want to read it yours, then I'll find it while you're reading it.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if mine will go the full 5 minutes, but I'll try. Okay,
I don't know if mine
yeah. So, according to the National Children's Alliance, in 2013, an estimated 679,000 children were victims of abuse and neglect. 47 states reported approximately 3.1 million children received preventative services from Child Protective Services agencies in the United States. Children in the first year of their life had the highest rate of victimization of 23.1 per 1,000 children in the national population of the same age. Of the children who experienced maltreatment or abuse, nearly 80% suffered neglect, 18% suffered physical abuse, and 9% suffered sexual abuse. Just under 80% of reported child fatalities as a result of parents and neglect were caused by one or more of the child victim's parents. So, physical and sexual abuse is commonly defined as misuse of something in a negative manner, or to treat a person or an animal with cruelty or violence in a sexual way or in a physical way, especially regularly or repeatedly. As you can probably gather, this problem is a very real threat to the family. What is even more terrifying is that it is happening within the home, obliterating the fibers of the family from the inside out. Consider asking those you love how they have been affected by abuse. It is so common that I can almost promise you someone will have an in-depth answer for you. My mother and father have both been affected by child abuse at the hand of their parents. My mother grew up in a sexually abusive home, and my father in an emotionally and physically abusive home. It is real, it is there, and it needs to be stopped. The United States of America Surgeon General states, under the category of mental health, severe and repeated trauma during youth may have enduring effects upon both neurobiological and psychological development, altering stress responsivity and altering adult behavior patterns. These individuals experience a greatly increased risk of mood, anxiety, and personality disorders throughout adult life. The home is intended to be a place of refuge and safety for all, specifically the children. Survivors often experience conflictual relationships and chaotic lifestyles. They frequently report difficulties forming adult, intimate attachments and display behaviors that threaten and disrupt close relationships. And it was said by Henderson in 2006, just so you have the source for that. Professor Bessel van der Kolk from Harvard Medical School conducted a 5-year study of 528 trauma patients from American hospitals. The study identified a range of symptoms that correlated well with prolonged severe childhood sexual abuse. He found the ability to regulate emotions like rage and terror, along with intense suicidal feelings, somatic disorder, negative self-perception, poor relationships, chronic feelings of isolation, despair, and hopelessness, and dissociation and amnesia. The implications are that real-world childhood trauma may be responsible for many psychopathologies, usually considered to have endogenous origins, including various kinds of phobic, depressive, anxiety, and eating disorders, not to mention borderline personality, antisocial personality, and multiple personality disorders. These types of long-lasting effects tend to create a new abuser out of the victim, or entice them to find another abuser to love or to maintain the homeostasis in their own life. And that's from the Adults Surviving Child Abuse page. So abuse is just, what was that?
I didn't tell you where I got my stuff, so I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. She just added that in like one of the instructions, so I just wanted to make sure that it's in there. So abuse is destructive to the family and ruins what the purposes of the family are intended to be, such as to love, to support, to have safety, and appropriate socialization. One law that I think is crucial to helping destroy the threat is mandatory reporting of abuse by anyone who has suspicions within reason that abuse may be taking place. The suspicion must be reported within 24 hours of it being noticed, and law enforcement and CPS will act quickly to determine the issue and correct it. It is both family and individual focused. Child Protective Services likes to keep the children within the home, and they do all that they can to do so. But if it is not safe for the child, they will remove them and have their needs taken care of in other ways, such as through the foster care system, adoption, or placing the child with other family members. One weakness is that people are not aware of what to report or when or where to report it, so they don't. I think it attempts to treat the problem. I have heard that case managers with Child Protective Services will require counseling to try to help the parents and to fix it rather than remedy the symptoms and removing the child. Sadly, I think it undermines the parents' responsibilities, though, because they have undermined them themselves. They have chosen to be a poor parent and an abuser, and the state now has to take away their ability to parent by removing the child. Or the state will require counseling to the family to try to help before removing the child, and that can be educational. Therefore, I propose that all expecting mothers and fathers take a mandatory parenting course about the purpose of the family, parents, and the dangers of acting otherwise. I think that goes along with the government section. I propose that we educate the community about what abuse may look like, including emotional abuse, and how to report it. That's on the societal level. I propose that we as individuals stay educated about what happens when we do report. It is not dangerous or scary. If abuse is not happening, the state will determine that no harm is being done to the family, but if abuse is found, then safety will come to those involved. So I just think abuse is a big threat, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And so, yeah.
That was really good. You did a really good job.
Thanks. So I just saw your question, right?
I want to forget while I was thinking. I have had a really long day.
Oh, that's totally fine.
My mind is just kind of gone. I work for a lawyer, so I do a lot of office work and calling, and it's just tiring sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, I know people who have had this happen to them too in their homes. And
Mhm.
like, how do we like know what's happening? You know, like, are there signs or like what? I don't know. Like, how do we catch it in our
Yeah,
home?
yeah. So as they talked about, at least in Utah and Idaho, I'm not sure if it's everywhere yet.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but like physicians, teachers, like pretty much anybody who sees it is legally like bound to reporting it. If you don't report it and you did notice it, you can be held accountable sometimes, which is not good. So like if a child mentions it, if a parent mentions that domestic violence is going on in the home, if you see bruises that are suspicious or unexplainable, or even if there seems to be signs of like emotional trauma to a child, you know, if there's any
Yeah,
signs like that, if you even like have a thought in your mind that that might be it, it's better just to report it to Child Protective Services. There's a girl in one of my classes that said that her parents actually got reported because they, like, her dad grabbed her and like kind of yanked her to the car because she was being naughty. And she was
oh
like, my
no.
parents weren't abusive, but they were investigated by Child Protective Services. And it's really like, it's not that bad. They just have to question the parents for like a week or two. They just make sure that everything's going well and then they leave them alone, you know? It's not an
Yeah,
issue. No harm
it's
done. They
better.
just make sure that the child's safe. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just anything within reasonable suspicion.
And then like my rule that I found,
Okay.
I just posted it under here too.
Okay.
It's pretty much just the rule that they want the people that have the websites or that operate the websites to just kind of monitor them so that way they know what's kind of going on, you
Mhm.
know. I don't know. They want to protect the children and stuff, so we just have to be careful.
Yeah.
This kind of thing is what it's talking about. I don't know what else we're really supposed to talk about. Um,
Yeah, no, that was really interesting. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's see. I can email you. I don't know. Do you want to email her the link or do we have a discussion board to post it or anything? Do you know?
I can email it to her.
Okay.
I can see if I stop this now, if I'll be able to get the link and share it with you.
Okay.
Because I think when you submit your reference page, like
Oh, yeah.
that's what it is. It's called a reference page. I don't know why I'm double thinking.
Gotcha.
You just attach it with that.
Okay. Gotcha.